Hey there everyone, I am Dresden and welcome back to another episode of the Fish Tank. We're going to be having a lot more of fish tank videos, but for now we're sticking with the theme. And not really the theme, but the current tank we'll be working on. This is my beta fish tank, and I have been working on it for the past few days, kind of touching things up. As you guys saw in the last video, I built it up, and now we're going to add some fish to it. But the first thing we're going to do before we add the fish in question is add this little snail. Now we have here a little Nerite snail, and he'll do great in this aquarium. He's a little guy. He'll help clean off the waste from the bottom. I know the filter system that it has, filter, will kind of also help with that, but this snail will do good work. So let's go ahead and get him added in. He's been acclimating for about 15 to 20 minutes to the temperature of the water. I'm not really worried about drip acclimating him. He should be okay. So let's go ahead and get it into the tank. Alright, so I went ahead and added the fish. It doesn't look, or not fish, the snail. It doesn't look like I was recording for it, but as you can see, I took the bag, cut a little hole in it. I put the water from the bag into the tank so that it contains all that helpful bacteria that can help the tank thrive. And I am going to do a little bit of a drain just until the water level is back down to where it needs to be. And then we're going to go ahead and add our beta in. We're going to do the same thing with adding the beta's water as well, just to make sure that it's got all those helpful chemicals for the beta. Now you can see our little, oh, I'm in front of my light. You can see our little friend here is already doing well. He's just kind of wandering around. Well, currently he's climbing onto his legs, I guess. And he's doing well. He's just kind of walking around. He will explore the tank a little. He won't be able to get out, because we'll have a lid on it. But he won't have any food for a while, so I have these algae flakes. I'm just going to go ahead and drop probably half of one of these in. Try to land it kind of near the middle there. And hopefully the beta won't eat it. I don't know. I add them into my other tank, and it should be fine. Now, before I get any further, I took Grace to the store today, my girlfriend, and she bought the fish. It's a tank for her fish. But she also bought this little guy, so I've had him in here for about an hour. And we're going to go ahead and take him, I guess her, and put her into that tank as well.
Fish, and its name is Mathomolume Mathomolume. Mathomolume. How do you say it?
Mathomolume.
It's these English words, I swear. Well, English is just as hard. Mathomolume.
Now say the name.
Mathomolume. Mathomolume of Matanui of the Yangtze River. I'm allowed to say that because I'm Asian.
And here we have our beta. He is a male twin tail, half moon, named Mathomolume, because that's what she picked. He's got some nice blue there. And red fins. He's a good looking fella. And we tried to pick one that was a little lively in the store to, get a fun one to look at. So he's pretty cool looking. Let me get him in the camera for you. He'll look a lot better in the tank. But we're going to go ahead and get him added after we add that unicorn. Alright, and now it is time to add our beta. Now, I don't really want to use the water from this and put it in there because the water in the betas tends to get changed once, maybe twice every week. But for a fish that lives in this small cup, changing it once or twice every week is pretty bad for it. And granted, they, again, like I said in the last episode, kind of live in puddles. They don't live in good water, and they can live through harsh water conditions. But I'm going to go ahead and not add any of this water. I'm going to drain it into a net, catch the fish, as in my store that I work at. That's how we do beta water changes. We catch them in a net, hold them there until we add the new water. So I'm going to go ahead and catch him in a net, and then I'm going to flip him into the tank. All right, we have our little beta in our net. And now let's go ahead and add him into the tank. We're just going to go ahead and flip over the net and let him go right in. And there we have it, folks. Our beta fish is now in its tank, in its home. Looking pretty snazzy, if I do say so myself. They don't really shock to water too much, but it he'll be all right. And now we're gonna go ahead and top off the tank with some water that already has our dechlorinator in it. And there we have it. Mathomolume is in his new tank, and he is indifferent about it, honestly. It is quite a small tank for this fish, but this will not be his forever tank, most likely. We will most likely get some other tanks, but it does look like the water is at a pretty good temperature for him. So, it should be pretty okay. We also have Mr. Snail up there. He's doing pretty well as well. Just kind of wandering around. I will get his first feed on camera. I'm going to feed him in a few hours just to make sure he's really healthy. And also, I need to get this piece of hair out of the tank because there's a piece of hair, but it'll be there for a little while. So sorry about that. But yeah, we got him. He's just chilling in his brand new, not forever home, but his brand new home. So we will have more videos on this tank, and I am going to get an actual light for this tank. I have ordered it. It is arriving soon, so it will be here. Now, with this light currently, though, it is nice because there is a dark spot and a light spot, so if he really wants to stay in the dark, he can. And there's our little snail guy. He's just wandering. Anyway, let's go ahead, and I will be back with you whenever we feed him. And finally, for the video, it is feeding time. Now, this guy has been in here for probably about 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours. I'm not sure if he'll be hungry or not. Look at him, he's flaring up. Starting to flare up a little bit. Not a lot though, he flared up at my dad a lot, which was kind of funny. So I've already gotten some food out. I'm not gonna feed them a lot. Of course, this is half of an algae wafer for the snail. Don't know if he'll be hungry or not, but I'm gonna, maybe I'll drop like a quarter of one in there because I don't know how hungry he'll be. I'll go ahead and put the other quarter in this tank because I have 3 snails in here. Bloop. Look at them, they're gonna go for it. Look at those guys. Doofuses. Now, the snail that's in here is bigger than I wanted it to be, and I do have a snail in here, right up there, who is smaller. It's a nurdle snail, but it's a smaller nurdle snail, and so I might put it in this tank. We're gonna go ahead and add this quarter of an algae wafer into here. And I don't know if the beta is gonna go for it or not. A little bit, but that's for the snail, bud. These are yours. I'm just giving him 2 little pellets. I guess 3 little pellets. Let's see if he'll go for that one. He should be able to smell it. There we go, he can smell it. And will he go for it or will he leave it? I don't know since he's new in the tank if he'll go for it or not, but let's find out. Don't worry, bud. It's beta food. Back up a little bit. Maybe I'm scaring him. He's looking at it. He knows it's there. He can smell it. He's a little new to the tank still. It's going to take him a bit to get comfortable enough to eat, but I will leave that pellet there in case he decides to eat. And I will try to feed him these 2 on the top tomorrow just to see if he will eat them. Oh, there we go. He's flared up now. He's angry. Look at that guy. He is angry. Slight distraction. There's one of my mystery snails coming out to munch on some food. My other mystery snail, I have a gold nurdle hiding back there as well. Not nurdle, mystery snail. But our beta here is not exactly comfortable with the tank yet. And now he can't get to it because the thermometer's in the way. So I'm gonna come back downstairs in about half an hour to see if he's decided to eat it. He is flaring up a lot. So I should probably back up and leave him alone so he's less anxious. But we will see if he has eaten it in about half an hour. Alright everyone, so it's update time. So it has been, as of tomorrow, it will have been a month since I built this tank. Look at him. He's looking at me. You want some food, don't you? Yeah, you do. So, the tank, how am I liking it? Well, you can see a lot of green has grown in, a lot of algae has grown in. That's because it doesn't have a filter. I do have to constantly wipe the walls down, and I have a mystery snail in there. I have gotten 2 neorites in the past, and they both died. They both got picked off the wall by the beta and flipped upside down, and since neorite snails can't flip themselves over, they died. even after I flipped them over a few times, they just kind of stopped eating because they were too stressed out by the beta and kept falling. So I got myself a mystery snail in there. He's a little bigger, and he can flip himself over. He also eats the algae off the walls, but not all of it. So he's still got a little bit of work to do. Oh, my mystery snail just jumped off the wall out of my big tank. It's a funny guy, that guy. So the betta fish. He's eating pretty well. I have since switched his food. I was using this little, oh, the camera's on this side. Kind of like novelty beta pellets. I went ahead and bought these ones. Some omega-1 beta pellets, and they're a lot better than the past ones. They're a lot better quality. They're smaller, so the beta can eat them better. Let me go ahead and feed him for you. I'll get some close-up shots while I'm talking, hopefully, but I'll give him a few pellets to get him to eat while we're doing this shoot here. But he seems to be liking it. I do have plans to get him out of that tank and actually give that tank to my sister because she wants a beta fish of her own. And so I can get this beta out of there because I don't like how it looks with the algae and the rocks are a little dirty and stuff. And I have another tank that I have running right now with actually some baby platies in it. One of my platies from the big tank just laid about 14, 15 baby platies, just gave birth to them. So they're sitting in there now, but I do have another tank, I have a fourth tank set up for them. That will be a future video if I remember. However, with this tank, it's not awful. Water changes aren't hard, they're just, I have to do it 2-ish times a week because the water quality is pretty bad without a filter. So I'm gonna move him into a filtered tank because I feel bad for Mathomolume over there. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. There will be more videos with Mathomolume, so stay tuned for that. And I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully you did, because I enjoyed making it. And until next time, this has been Dresden, and goodbye.